So it's officially 1 year since I started e-commerce, and I'm going to take the time now to review this last year, because there's quite a lot to unpack. I'm really not in a position that I thought I would be in. I started off this business model 1 year ago, envisioning myself making, 5 figures in a few months, and I had loads of these almost childish dreams that in 1 year I'll be driving a nice car. In 1 year, I'll be like flexing loads of things I've achieved, and the reality of it is very different. The thing is that, as I've said on a previous video, that success is a lot slower than what we imagine it to be in our mind. And for that reason, looking back 1 year on, I probably wasted a lot of potential by just dreaming too much. So, when I first started, basically the driving factor in my work was watching all these motivational videos on YouTube and Instagram of people driving flashy cars, partying, basically just showing off their money, right? And I think that was like the initial motivation I had. And I wasn't doing any work to match that. But now I'm at a point where I don't think about those things at all. And I enjoy the things I do now so much. Making products, working on my website, and getting sales from, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I enjoy what I do now so much that I really don't care about all the stuff that I prioritized and dreamt of 1 year ago. But anyways, long story short, I'm in a position now where 1 year on, I'm like 1.5k in debt from ads, basically. And I'm in a position where in 1 month or so, I'm moving to my new house. So I've been living with roommates the last 2 years, and now I'm moving in by myself in a nice little studio. But it's twice as expensive as the current house I have in terms of rent. But I'm really excited because I'm finally going to fully lock in, because I've really not been focused this last year, living with loads of people and, socializing a bit too much. So I'm really happy that I can finally lock in and do what I need to do, because I've not been progressing this year, and that's mainly because of being constantly distracted. So that's what I'm going to go into now. I'm going to go into, the main mistakes I made in dropshipping that led me from starting off and finishing 1 year on 1.5k in debt. That's all needs to be said. So the first thing was, and this is probably the most important thing that I did, not being focused on one thing. I started off knowing I don't have loads of cash flow at all. I didn't have a job back then, and so I knew I couldn't afford paid ads, so I had to do an organic route by posting content on TikTok. And I was completely new to the whole thing, so I was awful. The videos I was making back then were absolutely atrocious. And the products I was choosing were like the most random, stupid thing I found online. So, and I did that for a month or two. Probably didn't get more than 1,000 views on a video. And then I moved to uni from home for a second year. And I thought, why don't I invest some of my student loan into ads? And I had a part-time job as well. But it was like, not massive cash flow. And so I started this like online venture where I made a whole new store, picked like some fashion related niche, and I spent maybe like £300 on ads on a few campaigns and made 2 sales. So, massive loss. Um, I wasn't consistent, so I spent months making a website and adding products. Like literally months. I was just trying to create the best possible professional website, but I missed out the main part of the whole, you know, business, which is marketing, because marketing gets you customers and sales. And after all those months of adding products, I was thinking I was, the shit. I was working till very late every day, adding as many products as I can to this fashion store I had, making it look amazing. And I was ignoring all the marketing aspects of it. And then when it came to the marketing aspect of it, I wasn't getting any sales, and I thought, oh my god, what's happening? So anyways, I decided then, this is around November, December time, to start all over and take a more marketing approach. So I made like a home decor store, and yeah, things were looking better. My first few campaigns, I didn't make any sales, but then going into January, February this year, things started kind of popping off. So I made a couple of £100 in a month. I was still at a loss. I was still losing money. But then Chinese New Year came around and everything stopped. Like, I remember I had a campaign that was probably going to end up being profitable because I was like at a ROAS of 0.6. And then Chinese New Year comes in and I pause and I did nothing over Chinese New Year. I ended up partying a lot and basically, hanging out with people that weren't right for me in terms of ambitions that I have and the person that I am, which is always working to be better and better at myself and growing. So over the Chinese New Year period, I really wasn't focused and I got distracted. I got distracted by social life, I got distracted by university life. So that was bad. That really pushed me back and turned me into a bit of a wimp and made me just very lazy, a lot more lazy than I've ever been in my life. And then I kind of lock in again. I run some more ads, and yeah, I was on holiday in Montenegro running some ads. I come back to uni, my final exams for the year, do them. And yeah, there was a point, and I think it was a month ago, where I realized, okay, so the mistake I've made was I'm broke. I'm a university student. I have to go to lectures. I have to study. I don't work more than 1-2 days a week at a max. I'm already in debt and I have all this money that I need to have for next year. Why am I spending all this money on ads? And I realized, you have to choose the right approach for your situation. You don't do what makes you money fast. It's not about get rich fast. It's not a get rich fast scheme. It's about picking the right approach for your current situation and don't take more risk than you can afford to take. So I couldn't afford to lose money, but I was losing money. If I was in a position where I had money saved up that wasn't doing anything really, then I could invest into ads, because I like to think of paid ads now as an investment, like anything else, like crypto, like any assets you can think of, because you're not guaranteed to get that money back. You're not guaranteed the return. There's that risk involved. And I didn't understand that. I thought that, I'm pumping out hundreds of pounds a week on ads. I'm doing well. I'm working hard. And then I took a step back and I realized what actually is a business. A business is money in. And there is no aspect of money in what I'm doing, in what I've done this past year. It's always just been money out, money out. And so I realized, I've been lazy and I've given up on organic TikTok. Whereas organic TikTok is the perfect example of a good cash flow business. Obviously, it's incredibly difficult to get to that stage if you've never done it before, but these past few months I've been really grinding and improving my skills in knowing what's a film that will go viral on TikTok. And doing that, I've realized just how easy it is to improve and get to that stage if you really focus and really think that if I did this at the start of the year, instead of giving up and going into paid ads, I would have probably hit my first 5-6K profit by now, knowing how much I'm progressing now. You know, I started a product a few days ago and I already have an organic sale and probably more to come because I picked a good product that is viral and people want, and I know what content to make for it that will work. So if I did this 6 months ago, even 8 months ago, imagine where I'd be now. So lesson number 1 is to pick the approach that is right for you and stick by it religiously. Even if it's twice as hard, takes up twice as much effort. As long as you're not pushing money out all the time, then you know you're making the right choice and eventually things will work out. Another thing that helps me out is looking all over the internet for help in ecom. And I mean, I've been looking all over YouTube for all sorts of dropshippers of all levels. And I find it really interesting when I analyze what they do and you know what they do compared to what I'm doing and what others are doing. So it's really interesting to see, for example, those really beginner dropshippers on YouTube and those making 7 figures a month, whatever, seeing how differently they think about aspects of the business, how differently they think about ads, about products, about marketing, about all these things. So that really helps me, especially in organic TikTok. You know, there's not much out there until you go look for it. So I found so much gold online, and that helps me get myself to where I am now. And yeah, it's one of those things where you have to keep pushing and trying. So anyways, the goal now is to make 5 figures in organic TikTok. Whether that takes me a month or 2 months or more, half a year, that's fine. I've set myself a goal to go, I've said this before, I've set myself a goal to go somewhere on holiday myself at the end of this year as almost a reward for a year of truly locking in after an academic year from September to now June of constant mistakes and massive distractions and making some really bad decisions to now finally lock in from June to December, knowing what is possible and then what I achieve, to go somewhere on holiday myself and take in what I've just done is what I'm looking for now. So we've got 6 months, and I was writing this in my journal that for organic TikTok, I really don't see the point in pushing it past 100k profit. I know that sounds like a shit ton of money. It is even to me. Even 10k is like life-changing for me right now. But once I hit 100k profits on organic TikTok, I'm just going to stop completely because it's not worth it anymore at that point, right? It's so unreliable as a business model. I'm going to take that 100k and now I can go into paid ads, right? I see organic dropshippers make 100k and then buy a car or buy a watch. which is fair enough if that's what they want to do, but I'm thinking more long term. So I don't see the points, as I said, pushing organic TikTok more than 100K. So take all that money, put it into paid ads, and that's infinitely scalable. And then I can afford to do the things I did this year in paid ads, which is test as many products and try different things. Because I have the money to do it, I have the money to risk and lose. I didn't have that last year. I should have kept the money and worked on a business model that gives me money in, even if it's slower. So yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy year. University life it's crazy. But now, as I said, it's time to fully lock in and focus because incredible things are possible if you have the right approach. If you don't pick an approach that is too risky for you, and if you truly lock in and religiously dedicate yourself to your chosen venture. And avoid distractions, avoid friends that cause you to do bad things and weaken your mind. Push all those things away. That's why I've nothing against anyone, but I really need a year just by myself, just so I can think and focus. That's why I'm truly looking forward to this year, is being able to remove all distractions from my mind and lock in on my work. And then, shit, 1 year from now, if I film a video in my studio or somewhere on holiday in a nice hotel, looking back on this year, I'll be like, shit, I've truly locked in. And it's not been perfect. I've made mistakes. Obviously, you're going to do that all your life, but I've made incredible progress. And yeah, guys, this is the start of something truly lifelong and amazing. So that's probably all I have to say for this review in Ecom. Yeah, time to see what's next. Goodbye.